Hello and welcome to this month's Louisville Real Estate Market Update. I am Ryan Gass, the owner of Dream Digs, your host today. We help people buy and sell real estate every day. If you have any questions regarding real estate, buying a home, selling a home, investing in rental property, give us a call right here, 416-0999. Be glad to walk you through that. Let's take a look at the November 2016 market summary here and see what we can learn from this month's numbers. So, a few surprises going into the fall selling season here. Number one, the listing price just continues to rise year over year. I thought by now we would kind of start to see a downtick in that, but we definitely are not. Another big surprise thus far is these two graphs right here. These two charts are pretty staggering in my opinion. The absorption rate, which again, quick definition, if we sold every property at the current rate that we are selling properties in Louisville, how long would it be before we ran out of houses to purchase if you're a buyer? And so we can see that has just been on a, well, like dropping a lead weight in a fishing pond, and just going straight down to the ground there. Days on market, same thing here. Average days on market going into November. Last year at this time was about 80 days on average. Now we're just kind of trolling along the bottom there. 60 days it's taking on average for a property to sell in Greater Louisville once it goes on the market. That's the average continual days on the market. So if somebody tried selling the first time around, it didn't work out, they put it back on the market again. On average, properties are selling in about 60 days. That's amazing. The two numbers that are just, again, staggering to me, the absorption rate, we've had a drop of 26% year over year in the absorption rate. Wow. Huge. Same thing with average continual days on the market. This number right here, 27% drop. Guys, that's amazing. I mean, again, we're looking at this number right here, year over year, going into the fall selling season, when that number typically rises, and it's not. That tells me that the buyers are still out there, and they're just gobbling up properties left and right, it seems like to me. Let's scroll down here. I want to point out a few other things, especially if you're an investor, to pay attention to. Okay, so the last couple of videos we focused on the retail buyer and seller up in these categories, the $100,000 range up to the $500,000 plus range. This video I'm going to take a quick minute to focus on the investor section of clientele out there. $0 to $100,000 as a price tag on a house. I think it's safe to assume that the vast majority of properties, not all, but the vast majority in this price range, are investment type properties, single family rental properties. And one thing that's kind of caught my eye, as we've been mentioning here in the last few videos, the market has been swimming upstream, mostly because interest rates have remained low over the last couple of years, and in fact have mostly decreased. But down here in this investment property area, you're going to want to watch out and be really careful if you're looking to purchase investment properties right now. For one main reason. The number of units that has actually been sold in that $0 to $100,000 range has dropped almost across the board. Furthermore, the number of new listings coming onto the market during the last 12 months has decreased significantly, by double digits in almost every category. Across the board. That tells me one very important thing if you're an investor, and that is that prices have gone up. They can only go up in that situation because the level of inventory has gone way down, and my guess is that the number of investors floating around out there looking to buy property has probably only increased because borrowing has become easier and easier. Therefore, if you are looking into buying rental properties, especially single-family rental properties, buyer beware. you need to, like always, make sure that you're getting the property at your price that makes sense for you. Now, that still can be done. I just helped one of my buyer clients and mentees. I negotiated, I think, something like over a 50% or close to that reduction on the price tag that was being asked from the seller. We got a super deal from my buyer, but that doesn't happen every day. It was a HUD home, and both my buyer and myself are perfectly fine with going for the jugular when we're dealing with any seller, let alone HUD. But long story short, if the numbers don't work for you as an investor on paper, they're not going to work for you in the real world. So just buyer beware. That's all I'm going to say there. All right, let's switch over to our neighborhood sections and see what the various neighborhoods are doing in Louisville. Okay, here we take a look through our various neighborhoods throughout the Louisville area, and of course the main takeaway on this shot right here is if you live in one of these areas in town and you're thinking about putting your property up for sale, or it is for sale right now, and your property has been on the market longer than any of these average continual days on the market. So let's say, for example, you live in Fern Creek, Hikes Point, J-Town area, and you've had your property on the market for sale, or you're thinking about putting it up for sale. On average, it should be going under contract in 63 days. There's a flip side to that coin. If you're thinking about buying a home in that part of town, and you're looking at a property that has been on the market for longer than 63 days, let's call it 120 to be safe, just as an example, you know that seller is in trouble. And so that's a that's a negotiation tactic that you should be utilizing to get yourself a discount. If you're a seller, one of two things is wrong. Either your realtor doesn't know how to market the property properly, or you're overpriced, probably, and or possibly both. So those are some guidelines to keep in mind if you're looking to buy or sell your home in the next 12 months. And then, of course, we'll take a look at the volume and sales data next. And, of course, to kind of get an idea on sales volume and average sale price over time, the last 2 years here, we can see these bars represent the average sale volume. This is the total dollar amount of real estate being sold each month. We can see this right here, this bar representing November 2016 is quite a bit better than November of 2015, which was similar but even still better than November 2014. So that's a good thing. We're not seeing a big drop off here. Also, the black line, which represents the average sold price, continues to be pretty strong, and we're seeing an uptick going into the late fall selling season here. So, nothing new there. Good news if you're a seller. If you're a buyer, get it while you can and where you can, and try and use every advantage to your, every advantage that you possibly can. And there are still advantages out there. I'm still seeing plenty of properties that are overpriced and sitting on the market, lingering around for 120, 180, sometimes over 200-300 days on the market. Those properties are prime pickings for a discount because, they're probably overpriced. They may need a little work, but deals are still out there. You just have to be willing to look through the clearance track to find them. All right, that wraps up our video. Again, Ryan Gass with Dream Digs. Thanks for watching this month's Louisville real estate market update. And as usual, if you have any real estate related questions, give us a call, and we'll be happy to get those answered. Bye-bye.